excited to talk with you today. I don't know if you've gotten this feedback about your title, but as soon as I see the title, when the schedule was announced, I was like, okay, I have to see that movie. So I'm going to start with you and the title, Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. Tell me when that title hit you in this project.
It was before writing the screenplay.
Wow.
Actually, I had an idea for a short film, and the vampire in the short film that I never made, by the way, was putting an ad, a Craigslist ad to find a suicidal person to feed herself. And I pitched this idea to my co-screenwriter, Christine, and she said, "This is a title, like, it's brilliant." I was like, yeah, you're right. And afterwards, we just dropped the short film and we made the screenplay for the feature. So the title was like the seed idea of the film.
I love it. I think that that's such a great starting point for a film. Really quickly, for people who might have seen the title and are now very curious, can you tell people what the feature film is about?
Yeah, it's about Sasha, who is a young vampire who can't kill people because she's too sensitive, and her parents have to feed her, and at some point they said to her, "We can't continue like this. You have to be autonomous." So she's like at a point where she asks herself, is her life is more valuable than the life of others? And the answer is no. But she will meet with Paul, who is a young teenager who struggle with suicidal thoughts, and when they met each other, they think it's a win-win situation. But of course, it's going to be more complicated than that.
Much more complicated.
Much more.
But it's so interesting how it unfolds. Of course, you play Paul.
Yeah.
Did the title attract you to this project as well, or was there something else about it?
I mean, when I got the information for the audition, and I saw that title, I was like, okay, I gotta make that movie. And then I read the scenes, I read about the character, and it was so interesting, so far away from me, and yeah, it was very, very fun to play.
It seems like it, and we'll talk about your character more in a minute, because that was one of the most, I mean, the characters, actually this is my next point, the characters are such an interesting component to this movie. And I know that you said before that the characters are kind of the anchors for how you develop a story. So tell me about the characters in this film, and particularly I want to know how much of yourself is written in any of these characters.
How much of myself is in these characters? I don't know. I think for Sasha's part, the humanist vampire, I kind of started to think about these stories, and I was picturing myself in a vampire who have to kill to survive, and how she's lonely, and yeah, I think I project myself a little bit in her character, but that's the end of the resemblance. But when I write, I always like try to put myself in every character's shoes at some point to make them more like believable, I guess. Yes, and I have a lot of tenderness for both of the characters, and they are both like really outsiders in their own world, so human and vampire. And for me, when they meet with each other, it's like the perfect fit, because their struggle are I don't know. It's like complementary.
Ouais,
That's a really
yeah,
good way
yeah,
to put it, yeah.
But they both want to feel belong, and they both weird and a different way, but they understand each other. So they don't want to. At the end of the day, Sasha don't really want to kill him because she has a friend for the first time. So it's I thought it was a really nice playground to work with and all the dilemma and the it's a luminous film about death, but it's more about life at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And actually, I want to come back to that point too. But Paul is a character that I found quite fascinating in this movie. Of course, like you said, he is an outsider. He's kind of an awkward kid. He's kind of, obviously he's an outsider. He doesn't feel like he fits in, and he just kind of has awkward tendencies. I wanted to know more about you preparing for this role, and also similarly, how much of yourself do you see in Paul?
When I got the information for the audition, I thought to myself, well, he seemed to be a little bit on the spectrum, you know. So I imagined it in that way, and when I got to the audition, Ariane talked to me of the role, and she said, well, I imagine him a bit on the spectrum, you know, so I was like, yes, got it.
You were on the same wavelength.
Yeah. So then we had the audition and all of that, and what was the nice thing to find when we were rehearsing and all of that was the why does he want to die, and you realize that he's not very depressed. It's not about that. It's just he doesn't know what he's doing in life, why he's alive. So he's thinking, well, maybe if I can't find a meaning to my life, maybe I can find a meaning to my death. And that was all the thinking behind it, and it was very, very fun to play. And I think the interesting thing to do with the character too is that it's very far away from me, and the fact that I move differently, I talk differently, so it was very fun.
Nice, very cool. You guys are like feeding right into my next questions, because you're talking about Paul and his his thoughts about death and his thoughts about life and purpose. Something that I thought a lot about in this movie, because I had no idea where it was going to go. You have this title about consenting suicidal person, and it's obviously a dark comedy, and there's a darkness to that topic. But something that I was thinking about throughout the film is how you handle death and suicide and that topic. It's a very heavy topic that you handle very well. But I do wonder in the writing process how much you had to grapple with a topic that delicate, and were there points where you're trying to figure out what is and isn't appropriate for the story?
Me and Christine, the co-writer, we talk a lot about how it's a sensitive subject, of course, but we thought it's a taboo, but it can be useful to talk about suicide, and we didn't put too much thinking about we did not fear the writing process. We just stay true to what we want to do, and to put really a lot of love in the characters, and we didn't want to do a big statement about suicide, because there's so gray area in this dramatic subject. So we just did our own thing, and for us, Paul he's suicidal, but he's always on the edge of doing it, but he never did it because he struggled to feel something in life. So it's the only way for him to feel something when he's like on the edge of the death. So yeah, we just play with it, but in a careful way and a like sensitive way, I think. And at the end of the writing process, we made read the script to professionals who deal with a health problem, and they suggest small things, but they were not worried about this film will like shock people, and we really want for people to feel more warm-hearted, more than depressed afterwards. So.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think you achieved that. I mean, having some levity with the subject certainly helped have that balance of, dark and comedy. It was very well managed in the film, and so I appreciate that
Thank
about
you.
it. On the subject of levity and kind of a fun approach to the movie, I was very interested in hearing about the filming process and like if there are any like on-set stories that you guys have during the filming process.
We have
a lot.
What's the best anecdote? Maybe the scene on the top of the bowling.
Yeah, the top of the bowl. You know that was my first day actually.
Oh, really?
And the wind was so strong.
Yeah, just to make maybe a context.
Yeah.
The first scene where Sasha see Paul is on the edge of a building, and he looks like he is gonna jump. So yeah, this was his first day of shooting.
Was
They had you stand on
intense.
top of a building.
Yeah. That's it. And
I felt so bad.
I was strapped. I was strapped, to the building, so I don't fall. But the wind was like pushing me back to the building.
Oh. Okay.
So I had to push myself in the
Direction
The-
of
yeah
the
the
ledge,
direction.
right?
Yeah, that's it. So it was very very scary.
Yeah.
And but we had so much fun.
Yes.
There's a day we shot in the car. And with Sarah,
Yeah.
and we were these truck
The picture car.
the picture car.
Yes.
Yeah. So all the team was in the car, and we in the truck, and we were in the car like doing the scene. And between the takes, we were singing. And
Yeah,
having
you were
fun
so
and-
cute.
Yeah. It was a great shoot,
Yeah.
and everybody was so passionate about it. And I mean, you can really see it. The art direction is fantastic. The look of the movie looks very good, and yeah. So and everybody loved the project. I mean.
Yes, because obviously the movie happens at night. We're dealing with vampires, so it happens at night, which I'm sure came with its challenges when it came to lighting and scheduling and all of that stuff. Talk a little bit more about the how you tackled those kind of challenges with filming this movie.
I have to say I'm a morning person, so
Yes, me too.
it was a big challenge for me. And the first night of shooting, I was like, how?
Two weeks
Like
of night
how? I can't do the. It's too much. But after 2-3 nights, I was like just like on a night shift schedule, and it was okay. But it brings a lot of challenge in terms of lightning and
Noise.
lighting, not lightning.
lighting and the noise.
And
'cause,
the noise, and it was pretty challenging for the whole crew. And we shot the film in fall, so it was at the end of the year of the work year of everyone. So everyone was so tired, but also so passionate about the film. So we all like cheer us up.
Camaraderie, right?
Yes.
Really work together.
And Sara was talking about this like it was so immersive because you know you're shooting a vampire movie, and when you get home. Everybody is going out to work and so you're living the night and you're really feeling it. It's fantastic.
And I think we finished shooting it less than a year ago, and I never returned as the morning person as I was before.
Oh, really?
Like
Oh, yes, seriously, it's changed your...
yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
That's really funny. Really quickly, one last question. I just want to know what it means to you guys to have this film screening here at TIFF.
Oh, it's amazing! It's amazing. It's my first feature, but my 5 of my short film premiered at TIFF before,
That's awesome.
So it's meaningful for me to be here with my my first feature. I feel like I belong in a TIFF community, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a nice festival, the projections are so nice, and yesterday was our premiere, and the audience was so cheerful and they were laughing out loud. It was a nice projection.
Yeah, it was very cool. And I've been to the TIFF before, like 2 times, just to watch movies and enjoy the festival and all that, and being here as an actor for the first time, it's so enjoyable. Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, I want to congratulate you guys on the film. It's wonderful. I've been recommending it to people, and they see the title and are like, yes, we will go watch that. So.
Oh, good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I just want to wish you guys the best going forward with the film and with your careers, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.